Hi, I'm Healy Means. Welcome to my channel and welcome to a very special Backyard Shenanigans video. Ladies and gentlemen, this particular raised bed is very important to me because I dedicated it to a family member who's no longer with us, but it's still very special and in my heart always. This was the previous single stacked raised bed that I had my tomato tree in. I since revamped it. It is double stacked, and now let me show you how I built it and what I'm growing in it now. After I double stacked the bed, I used the soil from this empty 8x4 bed that I never used to fill a raised bed. I did not sift the first half, but then I realized I still needed more soil, so I did, and I sifted the second half. And that finally filled the bed to a reasonable amount of soil. But then I realized, those grubs. Y'all, so I went back and I emptied all of the soil out of the entire bed. So the 2 batches of soil that I had just put in, plus the original soil that was already in there, y'all, it took me days. I finally got to the bottom of the pile. I had my sifted soil, and then I had kind of like the junk at the bottom. I ended up with a good amount of sifted soil though, y'all, so it was all good. And plus, I knew I wasn't going to have no grubs. So after I got all the way to the bottom, I started building the bed back up again. Now, I noticed that some of the boards were rotting out because this is untreated wood. So I decided to add some landscaping fabric. This is thicker landscaping fabric that will help to protect the wood. I placed the ends of the landscaping fabric in between the first and the second boards in order to hold it into place. Now that I had the entire raised bed lined with landscaping fabric, it was time to fill it in. I started with cardboard from some old shipping boxes. Y'all, I always save my cardboard. And then I filled it in with some branches and twigs from a tree that was growing over our front yard. It had to go. Then I filled it in with the trash that was left from the original sifting. And then finally I added the soft sifted soil and I watered it in between. Now I had a full bed full of good soil. It was prepared and ready to plant. I wanted to try out my seeding square tool, and this is a tool popular with square gardening, and it's just a way for you to get the maximum amount of seeds planted in the minimum amount of space. So this tool is 12 by 12, so 1 foot by 1 foot, and it has holes of different colors to help you properly space the plants depending on what you're growing. After I got my 12 squares in place, I also made impressions for my compost pitchers and my water oyas. Oyas are an ancient method of watering the roots of plants in very dry places with dry soil. I made my oyas using 2 terracotta planters, the medium size. I silicone glued them together. I made a mistake. I had the silicone on the bottom. I left a little bitty hole, but y'all, that's all right. It still worked. I got the idea of the compost in place pictures from Robbie and Gary Gardening Easy. I used my soldering iron to burn holes in the bottom of the pitchers and in the lid, and then also all around the sides of the container. I placed the water oyas and the compost pictures in the raised bed, and then I worked on re-etching my squares. When I got around the areas of the pictures and the oyas, I made sure to mark the circles where I would not be able to plant seeds. I planted this garden on Thanksgiving Day and decided to go with onions and a lot of root crops. I also planted some organic garlic cloves that I got from my local grocery store. Here is the layout of the raised bed using that app that I mentioned several videos ago, y'all. I can't remember the name like right off the second, but you'll see I have onions, carrots, onions, radish, spinach, turnip, spinach, turnip, onions, garlic, radish, spinach, more onions, beets, and more onions. Here is the garden all planted on the 25th because I actually planted the seeds on the 24th and the 25th, but then watered on the 25th. And then here it is on December the 7th, Pearl Harbor Day. At this point, I'm just shy of 2 weeks. I believe this is the 12-day mark from the 25th to the 7th. And things are looking good. The plants are starting to sprout up. You know, I see little seedlings. The weather is getting cooler, so I'm not expecting everything to sprout up in 1, 2 days, 5 days, or even 1 week. But things are looking good. I'm really happy. And then I believe it was Monday and Tuesday, December 12th and the 13th, where we got a moderate amount of heavy rain, but we got just horrible winds, and you can see what it did to my precious garden and to my precious little seedlings. They didn't stand a chance. Here I'm pointing out, I believe this is the garlic starting to come up, which had got planted very, deep down, so it wasn't affected. But the little roots and stuff like that for the little seedlings, y'all, they just it's looking kind of rough. But you know what? God is good all the time. In the good, the bad, the ugly, and everything in between. So I'm going to reassess the garden in a few days. And if I have to replant, then that's what I'll do. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, click that notifications bell, share this video, share my playlist, and share my channel with everyone you know. And until next time, be safe, be well, and be blessed.